Hey there, welcome back to Insight. I'm Rachel, and I would love to welcome back Heather and Caleb from Foster Financial.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. It's just so exciting because it's my first time with you, Heather.
Yes.
Yes, so exciting. Today we are chatting all about Social Security misconceptions. Is that correct?
There's always misconceptions when it comes to the Social Security system. And so many people, they'll call the Social Security office and they're like, those people don't even know what to tell me. So the first one that we wanted to talk about is people who retire prior to full retirement age. Basically, there's a misconception that in the year that you retire, so let's say you're 62 in our example, you retire, you think that you can't make a whole lot prior to turning on Social Security. So let's just say you've worked for 6 months, you've made $60,000 in those 6 months, you're thinking, hey, I can't turn on Social Security because I made too much without having to repay it. That's a misconception. So the way that they actually calculate that is they say, hey, any income prior to retirement, we're not going to count that. Instead, we're going to look at what your income was from the date that you retired on a monthly basis. So you can't make more than $1,630 a month and turn on Social Security without having to get into the repayment schedule.
That's really interesting. And Caleb, I want to go ahead and just put you on the spot too, because you are here, usually just Heather.
Yep.
So Caleb, how long have you been with the company now?
Man, it's been probably about 6-7 months now, so it's been wonderful.
That's
Yeah, and we brought him in as our vice president of the company. He's also an investment advisor, and he'll be on the show probably every other week or so.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for
so
having
who
me.
does this really apply to?
Yeah, that's a good question. So this is kind of another misconception that we've seen in that this will apply to people who are younger than the full retirement age, and that can change depending on how old you are. So that could either be kind of 66 all the way up to 67. But this is for those people who are younger than that full retirement age, they're taking Social Security, and they're still working. Okay, so for example, there's kind of this income threshold where if you make over that while taking Social Security, they'll start to reduce your benefits. So for 2022, the threshold is like $19,560. So for example, if somebody was 62, they took Social Security, now they're 64, and they decided they wanted to work part-time, maybe for extra income or they were getting bored or whatever it might be. If they made $5,000 over that limit, so $24,560, their Social Security benefits would be reduced by half of that. So they would lose out on about $2,500 worth of Social Security benefits over that year. But it's also important to note that that money isn't just completely lost. So when they eventually hit the full retirement age, let's say it's 67 years old, Social Security, they won't give you a nice kind of lump sum paycheck. Of course, we're dealing with the United States government, and so nothing is ever simple and easy. So what they'll do instead is they actually recalculate your Social Security benefits at a slightly higher rate, and you start to recoup some of that lost benefit.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And I think the other thing too, we like to think about things when it gets to that time in life.
Right.
When should we start to think about Social Security and, of course, planning in general?
So we tell people, the earlier you start planning for retirement, obviously, the better. Laying out a Social Security strategy typically is one, though, that kind of happens once you retire. We can have a plan in place, but those plans can deviate. Like Caleb said, if somebody retires, then decides, hey, I'm bored, I want to go back to work, that can affect their long-term plan. It can affect their income, it affects their taxes, so everything has a cause and effect. Health issues, for example, a lot of people think I should wait to delay Social Security because I'll get a higher benefit. But if you have health issues and we don't think you'll live to a certain point, you actually may give the government money by wait to turn it on, and you should have turned it on earlier. So all those factors have to be considered, and it is something that, the earlier people think about this stuff, the better. Empower yourself, educate yourself so you can make the right decision.
And Heather, here's the last question, but if someone's sitting at home saying, I think it's my time to start planning, what is the best way to get a hold of you all?
Yeah, so people typically just call the office. Yeah. We obviously offer a complimentary consultation where we'll talk to somebody about whatever's kind of burning on their mind. We know the stock market's crazy, Social Security questions, there's always questions.
Oh, yeah.
So we bring them in and we kind of do a preliminary conversation. What's your questions? Where are you at in retirement? That's generally the best way. They can also go to our website and book appointments through the website. So they call or email as well, but we'll follow up with a phone call typically.
Yeah, that's so important. We were talking actually just a few weeks ago about how there's really no dumb questions.
No.
It's important to ask them, especially right now.
They don't teach this stuff in school.
They don't. Well, thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. And if you have any financial questions, once again, call that number on your screen for a complimentary consultation today. Plus, coming up, we're heading out to a new build with Granite Ridge Builders to chat all about an event that you won't want to miss this weekend.